This has to be the stupidest shit that I ever seen in my life. Watch this.
Weeks ago, Brian Atlas, a friend of mine who runs the Whatever podcast, offered up $100,000 for Candace Owens to debate with me about the murder of Charlie Kirk on his platform. He eventually raised it to $150,000, to which I said I would match it if we could actually debate on neutral ground. They have been at it for days, going through everything they can possibly dig up about me to hurt me.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies.
You lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
I want y'all to hear the words. He says, they're pulling up things to hurt me. You said the things, you stupid idiot. Here's the problem with these little red pill dudes. So this man is mad that people are digging up things that he has said on public platforms. So I want you to think about him saying, they're pulling up things to hurt me. He invited a woman on his podcast and then turns around and calls her a stupid bitch and then starts talking shit about her sexual orientation. But out of nowhere, he's the victim of what he said to her.
Many creators and private individuals have reached out to help me with this financial burden.
Financial burden? You started this shit. This man spent 2 months harassing and begging Candace Owens to debate him. And mind you, Candace Owens had no idea of who Andrew Wilson was. She turns around and says, you know what? Okay, I'll debate you. Let's go. And now he's crying like a victim after she accepted his offer. What the fuck are we doing here?
Financial burden. And they understand the fallout, which is likely to come for me and my family.
Me and my family. You started this shit. This is the problem I have with these little dudes. They go at women. Candace Owens is a woman. And then when things don't go their way, they start whining and crying like victims. And I want to say this pertaining to said victimhood. These dudes are bigger victims than women. They run around trying to hold women accountable, calling them all kinds of names, saying they make the worst decisions in the world. But then when the men make the worst decisions in the world, as an example of making terrible decisions, the Tate brothers are about to spend the rest of their lives in prison. The Fresh and Fit cornballs lost their monetization on YouTube for good. And now this dude literally set up a give, send, go to get his incel supporters to fund the debate that he begged Candace to do with him. Now he's whining and crying, setting up a give, send, go. But remember, they run around holding women accountable for their actions, yet these cornballs have the worst actions of everybody.
If you guys want to help me in bearing that cost and help cushion the overwhelming attacks from our sycophants, here's where you can donate.
This is absolutely pathetic. This pathetic excuse of a man runs around arguing with women. And when women start arguing back and start making points, he starts acting like a victim. This is literally what's happening. Imagine Andrew Wilson walking through the woods and he sees a bear. And instead of leaving the bear alone, he decides to pick up some rocks and start throwing rocks at the bear. But just like with Candace on X, she decided to ignore him. But guess what Andrew Wilson wants to keep doing? Throw more rocks. And at some point, the bear in the woods starts looking around like, yo, what the hell is happening? Somebody's harassing me knowing that I could just maul them whenever I want to. I'm a bear. So the bear looks over at this idiot just throwing rocks at it and decides to say, you know what? I can eat. You ever been somewhere and you're not really hungry, but you're like, I can eat? That's Candace. So Candace, being the proverbial bear, decides to go ahead and give this loser what he asked for. So now imagine a bear chasing Andrew Wilson and he has his phone in his hand and he's like, oh my God, a bear is attacking me. Oh my God. Oh no, please somebody help me. That's literally what he's doing in this video. He's literally acting like a victim after harassing a pregnant woman. This woman is 4 or 5 months pregnant. You're harassing a pregnant woman, but you're a victim. How does this make sense? You're an idiot, sir.
Candace and her fans' reactions were volatile, to say the least. She issued a strange counter that I needed to pay her $500,000.
The strange counter of paying her $500,000 most likely is because she didn't want to do this. She was watching you spam her and harass her on X. Most likely, she didn't feel like dealing with this. For a lot of us, in order to actually do what the other person wants us to do, we kind of like would throw out a crazy number to kind of like get you to go away. But guess what? You didn't go away. You just kept negotiating. So then she's just like, okay, I'm pregnant. And you have to remember that part. She is pregnant. She's not going nowhere outside of her house. You already know what happened with Charlie Kirk. It's not necessarily a good idea for her to go outside of her house and be around any of you anyway, because there's already been a number of threats on her life. And we're going deeper and deeper and deeper in this Charlie Kirk stuff. So yeah, she needs to stay home. So of course she's going to ask for more money. Of course she's going to stay home because she doesn't even want to do this.
Obviously, this gives massive advantages to Owens.
It's supposed to give massive advantages to her. You're bugging her about this. If somebody's bugging me about doing something, it's going to be on my terms. You have to understand, you wanted this, not her. You start bugging me about something, I'm going to be like, all right, I want this, and this, and this, and then we'll do it. Hoping, like I said earlier, that you just go away. I'm not leaving my house when a person is bugging me to do something. What are you talking about?
But I'm never one to back down from a debate challenge, even if I think the terms are fundamentally unfair.
So here this guy goes, acting like a victim, like somebody challenged him to a debate. He challenged her. So there's no, I'm not the one to back away from a challenge. You are the one who challenged her, sir. But this is the male victimization that I talk about all the time. A lot of men, especially in this red pill space, all they want to do is be victims of women. I'm going to say it again. A lot of these dudes, just like what he's trying to do now, he is a victim of a woman. But then we'll turn around and say, men are better, men are this, masculinity is that, all these different things. But they love turning around and being a victim of feminism, being a victim of Candace Owens, being a victim of her terms. I'm not the one to back down from a challenge. The utter victimhood is just flowing through this man's veins and it's disgusting. I need to reiterate, he's begging her. He was also begging Barron. So he's just running around begging anybody with a platform because he's an attention whore.
Unsurprisingly to me, Candace Owens declined. No control, you see.
Candace doesn't give a damn about being on Joe Rogan's show or his platform.
You would think if she was actually trying to change the minds of normies.
She's not trying to change the minds of normies. You are trying to change the minds of normies, whoever the hell normies are. This is your life goal, to run around trying to change people's minds. Like, I'm not going to say we, because I'm not with Candace, but I would say the people on this side versus you and Turning Point and all these other weirdos and the red pill people, all of y'all are over there because all of y'all are weirdos. So I'll just say we for the sake of argument. We are not trying to change anybody's mind. We are just overall trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Charlie Kirk. And just for the record, I'm not a huge Charlie Kirk fan either. But if we don't figure out or find out who killed Charlie Kirk, they could turn around and kill another person on this side or on your side. So finding out what exactly happened is advantageous to all of us, because when Charlie Kirk first got, hit, popped, whatever you want to call it, it scared the shit out of me, because I'm like, any of us could be doing some type of school tour or whatever. Any of us can be doing something out in the open and be worried about something happening. So when Charlie Kirk got killed, it just overall scared the shit out of all of us. Finding out what's happening is not about being right. It's not about a debate. It's not about normies or whatever the hell you're talking about. It's about trying to find out what happened so we can protect ourselves from who did it. Because if we find out who did it and we can get charges brought on those people, they're out of here. And then everybody's safe. Y'all are safe and we are safe.
And reach a new audience. That's where she would go, but sadly, no. After many rounds of negotiations and a new moderator stepping in who assures us it'll be fair, we came to an agreement. My stated objective for my platform, The Crucible, has been unwavering, and I've never strayed from its goal. Destroy the left. Take them on everywhere on their own turf, outside their turf, at their events, in their safe spaces, challenge them everywhere and destroy their ideas.
So destroying the left is kind of stupid. It's idiotic. See, there would not be a right if it wasn't for a left. So if you were to destroy the left, a new left would be born, because there is no left, just like there is no right. All of us are literally the same. One group just has a certain amount of ideals and another group has a different set of ideals. And that's never going to go away. So you can debate a million people. That's not going to stop people from thinking a way that they want to think. And that's the reason why I think dudes like this are idiots. Because why are you spending so much energy, probably for money, probably for clout? So it's a rhetorical question. But regardless of that, why are you running around trying to talk people that you don't necessarily like, you don't necessarily care for, into doing something or thinking a way that you want them to think? Are you stupid or what? Let the normies, or whoever the hell the normies are, be normies, and you go do something else. See, this is mainly just theater. I'm here to destroy the left. See, what's happening here is just theater, i.e. WWE wrestling. That's what this is. This is WWE wrestling. One wrestler that's a good wrestler is going to fight the bad wrestler. But what we found out that was going on in the WWF back in the day, the good wrestlers was hanging out with the bad wrestlers after the wrestling match because it was all fake. where it was two arch enemies that literally were hanging out and they got pulled over and they both went to jail for doing drugs or had drugs in the car, something like that. And it kind of like broke everybody's heart because now everybody was able to see that two arch enemies were both doing drugs together, which means they weren't arch enemies at all. And that example is literally what's going on with the left and the right. And a lot of times the left is hanging out with the right and the right is hanging out with the left. We can say all we want to say about the left and how weird they are, but the right, they're running around eating babies. Donald Trump is literally in bed with the blue country. So you think the right isn't evil? I think the right is worse than the left. The left is loopy, liberal, goofy, but the right is literally destroying the economy, destroying children. But you don't care about that, right? Because it's all theater. Because you, sir, are just WWE wrestling, right?
This woman, Candace, has been terrorizing both the widow of Charlie Kirk and the organization he left behind. It's obvious her stated goal is to destroy the largest conservative college and high school outreach program currently in existence.
Turning Point USA, in my opinion, is a religious indoctrination camp. And you actually think that's good? You actually think they're positive? You literally called the CEO of Turning Point USA an idiot. And then you turn around and say you want Turning Point USA to flourish when you think the CEO is an idiot? How in the world do you say on Wednesday that the CEO of Turning Point USA is an idiot, but on Friday you want to save and protect everything Turning Point USA is doing? What are we talking about? And this is why I think this dude is a liar and he's a fraud. He just says shit.
To destroy the largest conservative college and high school outreach program currently in existence.
The one thing that we don't need is these weirdo pastors along with Turning Point USA idiots running around indoctrinating our children. Don't you have children? Well, they're somebody else's children, but they're still your children, right? Because your wife has 3 baby daddies. So they're probably not your children, but you're responsible for some children, I guess, right? So you're okay with those children or your children, I don't know what you call them, your stepchildren, going to school and getting indoctrinated by all this stupid shit that Turning Point USA is trying to do? What are we doing? You called the CEO an idiot.
Do I disagree with a lot of TPUSA ideas? I do. I would rather try to change them, though, than burn down the only organization in my lifetime to really get a foothold in academia, the thing conservatives have wanted for 60 years.
In theory, a conservative organization having a foothold in academia is a good thing. But like I said earlier, this conservative organization isn't necessarily conservative. It's actually demonic, not conservative. Because just for the record, the person that ran the organization got killed. And the person, group, or country that killed Charlie Kirk, most likely, in my opinion, are adjacently connected to this organization that you want in our schools. Once again, you're an idiot. Okay, this is about to happen in a couple days. So let me know what you think about Andrew Wilson. And what do you think about this whole debate? What don't you like about the dude? Let me know in the comments. And also, who do you think is going to win this debate? Drop that in the comments. And before you leave, make sure to watch this video here or here. Talk to y'all later.